Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining Man Travels this morning. We have our friend Paul Corrigan today. He is representing, who we represent, Rocky Mountaineer. He's going to talk about truly moving train journeys in the Canadian Rockies. We really hope that you want to plan now and travel later because I feel that things are getting booked up for next year and the following year because people who have had this on their bucket list are booking now. So just a few housekeeping items. You will stay muted and your camera will be off for the presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat feature. I will definitely answer your questions as we go, or you can wait until the end. It's completely up to you. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Paul Corrigan with Rocky Mountaineer. Paul, it's all yours.
Well, thank you, Billy, and thank you everybody for joining today. And I really appreciate your time to come and learn about Rocky Mountaineer. And I hope you're excited about potentially joining us in 2021 or in the future. So I'm the business development manager for the Southeast region, work with Mann Travel. They're a great partner. And we've done a lot of stuff together and we appreciate you all being their partner as well in your travel plans. So today I'm going to highlight some of the features of Rocky Mountaineer journey and bring to life, I hope, the nostalgia of luxury train travel, and which is very unique. And we're going to showcase our beautiful destination of Western Canada and hopefully inspire your future travel plans. So I'm going to kind of walk you through this presentation here. So this is a map of our sphere of influence. So we are a specialist to Western Canada. This is where we operate. We're a Vancouver-based tour operator. The company was founded by Peter Armstrong. We're privately owned, family-operated tour operator and one of the largest privately owned luxury train operators in the world. And we've grown over the years. We've been in business for 30 years now, and had over 2 million travelers travel with us over those 30 years. So features of Rocky Mountaineers, we are luxury daylight travel so that you don't miss the beautiful, breathtaking scenery of Western Canada. Our spacious, luxurious coaches, first-class service, fresh and flavored food, engaging hosts really make up a Rocky Mountaineer experience along with the magnificent destination that we go to. And our operating season is April through October. So I may repeat that a couple times so you know when you can travel with us. So we all, when guests step on board a custom designed rail car of Rocky Mountaineers, they see the picturesque windows and they can really imagine what the scenery looks like just outside these gorgeous rail cars as you're going through shifting landscapes, unparalleled beauty of Western Canada. You'll see roaming wildlife. Guests relax in our spacious seats. They're super comfortable seats, and every need is catered to by our attentive hosts. Our hosts, Rocky Mountain employees, are just the best. Our trains are all inclusive. That means all your meals, gourmet dining, gourmet snacks, all your alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks are included. And our passionate, knowledgeable storytelling hosts really bring to life the history and culture of Western Canada and the rail routes that you travel on. And one thing I wanted to say is most of all is when we say experience extraordinary, you're going to see extraordinary scenery, but really the 400 plus onboard hosts provide extraordinary service. And that's what people rave about when they come back from a Rocky Mountaineer journey. So we're going to talk about, first of all, the all aboard experience. So we know first impressions are lasting impressions. So Rocky Mountaineer's goal is to make every bit of the boarding process seamless and easy and memorable. Rocky Mountaineer representatives meet you at your hotel. They transfer you right over to the hotel. We take your luggage from that first hotel onto the next hotel. So we transfer you to the train station. As you enter the train station, it's a picture. These are images from our Vancouver train station. You're already pre-checked in for your rail car. You already have pre-assigned seats. You'll also have, you'll meet and greet with different travelers from all over the world that travel on Rocky Mountaineer. You'll enter into the train station. There's a grand piano playing. There's coffee and juice complimentary there being served. We do a ceremony introducing the train staff and hosts. And then we have a gas blow, the ceremonial train whistle, which is your cue to go out to your rail car, and then you'll listen to bagpipe music as you're boarding your train by red carpet. And then one of the traditions of Rocky Mountaineer is doing a wave off. So we have volunteers from our home office as well as all our guest experience folks lined up along the train tracks and sending you off in style. What I love about it is the volunteers that come down. You have everybody from the founder of our company, Peter Armstrong, all the way to any employee that has time. They'll come down, they'll send off the clients in style. And during certain seasons, they were actually dressed up in nice costumes. So a typical day on board the train. So once aboard a Rocky Mountaineer train, our guests will then participate in a welcome toast. So we always start off our journey with a welcome toast of mimosas. Well, if you want no alcohol in it, we can arrange for that as well. Culinary delights, including gourmet full course meals, are served throughout the day, gourmet snacks, as well as all your wine, your cocktails, your beers from the region. Are also included in the train journey. And then throughout the day, you're going to see wildlife, beautiful scenery, and our hosts are the storytellers, passionate, that bring to life everything that you're going to see. They'll point out the fauna and flora and the wildlife and talk about the areas that you're passing. And then in the evening, when we pull into our train station for the evening, you're transferred over to your hotel. We don't sleep on the train, we sleep in a hotel, and then your bags are magically waiting for you in your room. There's no waiting in line for your room either. You're given your keys on the transfer over and you're pre-checked in for your hotel. And that evening, people will just go out and enjoy themselves and meet the locals. So I love that about it. Rocky Mountaineer, it's daylight travel and you don't sleep on the train. Of course, if you had too much to drink, you might, but that's entirely up to you. So culinary experience, if you're like me, food is a big part of your vacation. And so with Rocky Mountaineer, we take this very seriously. We have executive chefs that are Michelin trained that actually design the menu. We use locally sourced, locally inspired dishes. You'll have craft beers from Western Canada. You'll have British Columbia wines, prime Alberta beef, Pacific salmon. So we really do bring to you the Western Canadian culinary experience. And this is just a picture of a menu on the gold leaf rail, which I'll talk to you a little bit more. And you can see it's like a 3-course lunch with your selections of wines that we pair it with, and also multiple choices of entrees, and obviously topping it off with a wonderful dessert. So when you plan at Rocky Mountaineer, there's really a few steps to think about. Now, I always say, think about these steps, but work with your Mann travel advisor, because they're going to be the experts and the ones that will help you plan out the perfect vacation. First step, you want to pick the rail route, and I'll talk about those. The next step is pick out your rail service. We have 2 of those, and which season to travel in. So you're going to get to learn a little bit about all those. So here's a closer up map that shows you the Rocky Mountaineer routes. So you'll notice the solid color lines represent our rail routes. And then you'll see some dotted lines that, like between Jasper, Lake Louise, Banff, and Calgary, there's no train tracks there. So you're transferred by other means. It could be rental car, it could be private transfer, it could be motor coach. So just bear that in mind. But there's 3 train routes, and all those blue diamonds or squares that you're seeing, or white squares, those represent places where we have hotel and resort accommodations that you can package up around your trip. We do have over 30 different packages to choose from, but they're also customizable, so you can tailor them to your interest. So let's talk about the first route. This is a first passage to the west. It's not only a historic train route for Canada, it connects East Coast Canada to West Coast Canada. It's also a historic train route for Rocky Mountaineer. It's the very first one we did back in 1990. And one of the things that's great about this itinerary is it starts in Vancouver, goes to Kamloops, your overnight Kamloops, and right into the heart of the Rockies, Lake Louise, and Banff. Now, our train routes run both directions. So you can actually board in Banff and end in Vancouver, or start in Vancouver and end in Banff. So you have the choice to decide which way you want to go. This itinerary does go past Hell's Gate, starts out of Vancouver or ends in Vancouver, as I mentioned. Of course, that's a world-class city. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. Some of the sights that you'll see along the way is just these beautiful river and bridges that you go over, and it's like a desert scene out of Arizona. And then you get into Kamloops, which is our overnight stop. Super friendly town, about 90,000 in population, right on the Fraser River. And each night during the summer, if you travel in the summer, they have live music in the park, or you may just stroll the town and have a dinner in a gastropub. There's lots of good restaurants to choose from. And then also just more spectacular scenery along the route. So this one is really beautiful. You go right into Banff, and you also go through Craigallaghy, which is like where the last spike was driven to connect the East Coast and West Coast. So if you're into history and you want to go straight into the heart of the Rockies, this is the one to think about. Goes right into the national park. You'll see Castle Mountain, Mount Rondell right from the train. And then also a 2-day long route is Journey Through the Clouds. So First Passage to West was 2 days on the train with an overnight Kamloops, and then Journey Through the Clouds, also a 2-day route, which Vancouver to Kamloops, so same route there. And then from Kamloops, it goes right up to Jasper. This traverses some of the most remote landscapes in Canada with scenery and wildlife largely untouched by humans. So like the First Passage to West, the route does pass Hell's Gate, Cisco Crossing, traveling along the Fraser and Thompson River. And between Kamloops and Jasper, you go through past Glacier Fed, Pyramid Falls. You'll also see the lots of lakes and lots of rivers. There's a picture of Pyramid Falls. You get right up close to it, and you can't get there by car or motor coach. And that's one of the beauties of train travel. You're going to be closer to the rivers, closer to the lakes, in better position to see sights that you won't see by those other means. And train is the best way to go. And this is a picture of Mount Robson, which is the Great White Fright, they call it. And it's also 12,900 feet, the highest mountain in Western Canada. And Jasper National Park. So if you're interested in going into Jasper National Park, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and if you like wildlife, this is a national park that has a lot of wildlife, Jasper National Park. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So that route is the second 2-day route. And then the third extreme route we have is Rainforest to Gold Rush. Now this Rainforest to Gold Rush is a 3-day train journey. So this is great for those who want to delve further into Western Canada's history and diverse landscapes. You'll have 3 days on the train. Departing out of Vancouver, goes to Whistler, Quesnel, and Jasper. So this one also goes into Jasper. It also has the most trestle bridges. The other unique thing about this is you're going to go past southern fjord of Howe Sound. You'll pass deep turquoise lakes of Seton and Anderson lakes. You'll also travel along a desert like Caribou Pass, cross historic Cottonwood Bridge, take in Mount Robson. So again, like you'll feature of that. Whistler, wonderful alpine village. If you're into skiing or ski villages, this is a place to go. 2010 Olympics was here. And you'll have time to stay in this town, have a nice dinner in an outdoor cafe, or do some hiking. If you're not afraid of heights, I recommend doing this. I'm too afraid to do it. That's a skywalk up there in the Whistler area. Quesnel is a gold rush town. Now, they don't have any gold there anymore, but except for during the fall. Small town, it's an overnight stop, but super friendly people. You get to meet real Canadians in those areas. And this is a view from this train route, so you can actually see how beautiful the train route is. And then, as I mentioned, Jasper National Park, it's in the national park. So you arrive there, you're transferred over to your hotel. This is a friendly town, great rustic lodges and hotels, and also excellent dining as well. And then wildlife, 587 species. And then for those people with the phobia called FOMO, fear of missing out, I recommend Circle Journey. What is Circle Journey? Well, it's a good question. Basically, it's a round trip train journey. So that's combining 2 routes and making it into a round trip train. So as you saw, I pointed out on our train routes, it's either 2 days on the train or 3 days on the train if you do one train route. And if you do a round trip, you can have as much as 5 days on the train. And a lot of clients that really love train travel and certainly love Rocky Mountaineer, they will do the 5-day round trip train journey. It's a great way to see all this area and spend more time in Western Canada. So I want to talk to you about the service levels. We do have 2 service levels, and here's a picture of our different custom design coaches. So we have Gold Leaf and Silver Leaf. The Silver Leaf rail car is a single level rail car. Now they have oversized glass dome. It's a glass dome rail car. All of them are dome cars, but oversized glass dome windows, big picture windows, and high ceilings. You'll also notice when you look in here, just high ceilings, bright, cheerful. So again, compare that to doing a motor coach tour or in a car. You can't really see near as much as you would on a train, and you're relaxing in these wonderful, comfortable seats. Lots of legroom, lots of space to mix and mingle with other guests. Dining is seat side. It's all freshly cooked on board the train. It'll be served and plated elegantly by your seat. And there's 2 hosts and 1 culinary member serving the guest on a Silverleaf rail car. And Gold Leaf is our premium level experience. So about 75% of the Americans that travel with Rocky Mountaineer actually like to use Gold Leaf. And so these are just really beautifully appointed, custom designed rail cars. A couple of features about this is the guest seating featuring full dome windows. They give unparalleled 360-degree views, as you can see here in this picture. Spacious outdoor viewing platform is also a big feature, which let me go back to that picture. You can see in the back of the rail car, this big open area. And that's a great place for people to go, my favorite spot. There's also a dining room on the first level, and we do 2 seatings. And you do have more dining options and entrees to choose from when you travel on Gold Leaf. The food is actually freshly prepared right in these tiny kitchens on board each of the Gold Leaf rail, which is there's actually on YouTube, you can see a episode on tiny kitchen cooking on Rocky Mountaineer. So if you Google that, you'll get to see some of those. Our chefs prepare all these wonderful meals in this small space. But what's interesting about that is you can smell the food being cooked, the fresh baked cookies, the fresh baked scones, and yes, you're hungry every time you smell that stuff. And then you get served by 3 to 4. Well, we have 3 to 4 hosts on a Gold Leaf rail car, and you have 4 culinary members serving the guests while they enjoy their meals. So there's 2 meals, typically breakfast and lunch, and it's all inclusive again. All your drinks are included. And we also use locally sourced food when we actually, let me go back here. This is the viewing platform, give you a view. And then also as far as hotels, we have many different hotels to choose from. We have moderately priced first class properties all the way up to the luxury resorts and iconic hotels, world famous Canadian Pacific properties such as the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise. If this is on your bucket list, you will not be disappointed to stay at this hotel. We do have space. You stay at the hotel, you have easy access to the canoes. There's nothing like canoeing Lake Louise. And then you have the other iconic hotel that in Banff, which is the Fairmont Banff Springs. This hotel is absolutely magical. It's called the Castle in Banff. 125 years age, built by the Canadian Pacific Railroad. Also has a world-class golf resort. You got to watch out for the moose when you're hitting your golf ball. Is 2-stroke penalty if you hit them. Vancouver, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the destination. So Vancouver is an absolutely stunning city, probably the nicest, friendliest city in all of North America in terms of large cities. Absolutely spectacular outdoor activities to take advantage of. In the back there, you can see Stanley Park. This park is actually 10% larger than New York's, Central Park. So it's a bigger park than Central Park. And also one thing it features, it actually was given gray squirrels from New York City. So if you're ever wondering where those gray squirrels came from, they came from New York. Vancouver is also famous for movies. So if you're a movie buff, this is the third biggest place for film production is in Vancouver. It's become quite the film mecca the Hollywood of the North, they call it. A lot of great movies have been filmed there. It's also where Botox comes from, if anybody cares. And the California roll was actually really invented there. So if you're into also to different cuisine, but if you're into sushi, you won't find a better place for sushi than Vancouver. The skyline, unmatchable, absolutely safe city to walk around, a lot of eclectic neighborhoods like Gastown. It was originally called Gastown, which is not a name you want to keep anyway, but that was their nickname. And then Public Market in Granville Island, a great place to walk over and visit, and great food. We also offer like these foodie tours. So if you want to do a foodie tour of the Public Market in Granville, I recommend that. The other one is we do a walk tour of Chinatown, where we take you to a temple, we take you to all these different food places, you go to a herbal medicine store, very cool tour. And then the harbor in the waterfront, we have a lot of great hotels along the waterfront and all throughout Vancouver. And then Victoria is only a short ferry ride away or short air flight. Uh, and I also recommend this. There's the Empress Hotel. That's another Fairmont property. That's where the Queen stays. And you can also drink the Queen's Gin when you're there. If you don't stay there, at least go in and have some Queen's Gin at the Fairmont Empress Hotel. And Butchart Gardens is really a big reason why people want to go to Victoria. It is the capital of British Columbia, and it's absolutely Victorian architecture all over the place. Beautiful place. One of my favorite national parks in the world is Banff National Park. It has a very unique thing about this. I told you I love food. Well, Banff is one of those national parks. You have multiple cuisines to choose from. Unlike most national parks where you're limited to hamburgers, chicken, and that kind of food, here you have world-class cuisine in Banff National Park. Right in the main street here, we have lots of hotels, plus we have the Banff Springs Hotel, the Rimrock Hotel, which are just slightly outside of town. We always recommend doing some of the activities. We have over 30 different packages. We bundle in activities, sightseeing and excursions. We typically include the gondola. So if you go there, definitely do this to Sulphur Mountain. But what brings people to Banff National Park is the absolutely stunning mountains and lakes. Only a few places on Earth do you have these emerald colored and turquoise colored lakes, which are caused by the glacier flower, I guess they call it, that is floating in the water, and based on how the rivers flow into these, that the color of the water changes. But look at that absolutely stunning water, Emerald Lake there in Yoho National Park. If you're into hiking and you really want to do the outdoors, this is a great place to do that. A lot of great hiking trails. There's Peyto Lake, absolutely unbelievable. It's a real picture, not photoshopped. And also Banff, which is the oldest national park in Canada, features hot springs. So if you want to go into a hot spring, you can definitely do that. Lake Louise, I mentioned that before. Chateau Lake Louise overlooks this, the Victoria Glacier, the lake here. You take a canoe out. You can hike up to the tea houses. Here's another picture. Look at the color of the water. Just taking a canoe out there. There's something different about being out there in nature, and where it's so quiet, so clean. And it will definitely refresh your soul, especially after all we've gone through. Another view, and then you can see a different color of the water, and it depends on how the river's flowing and the light is shining. Jasper National Park, I mentioned UNESCO World Heritage Site. That's Spirit Island, one of the most photographed spots in the world. Malign Lake is a place you want to go boating as well. Or if you're really an outdoorsy person, you can do the Athabasca Falls and Rivers and take a kayak down there. And I didn't mention this before, but Jasper is a dark sky preserve. It's actually one of the top places in the world to see stars. So if you're into stargazing, consider going to Jasper National Park. And between Jasper National Park and Banff is the Columbia Icefields Parkway. I highly recommend you doing this. We usually build a tour in here. We'll take you on the Ice Explorer on the app, which will take you, this Ice Explorer, those tires are actually 7 feet high, and they take you onto a glacier. This glacier is actually as thick as the Eiffel Tower is high, quite a feat to see. Calgary is called, the nickname of Calgary is Cowtown. Anybody know why? Well, lots of cowboys in Calgary. And they're also famous for the greatest outdoor show on earth, which is the Calgary Stampede. I highly recommend this. This happens in July, early part of July. We have packages that will take you into Calgary and different places. You can buy tickets. The tickets are not super expensive. They have these rodeo show every single day, parade every single day, live music, all included. And I mentioned before wildlife. I love wildlife. I just came back from Yellowstone, and I just wanted to like reiterate that when you go out to a place where you see the beautiful national parks in the U.S. and Canada, it just really make you feel closer to nature, and you see lots of wildlife. So here you have grizzly bears. There's about 700 of these big grizzly bears in all of Alberta, so you may see some of those. Of course, foxes, and there's black bears. There's actually 40,000 black bears. You're more likely to see them. There's actually over 100,000 moose in Alberta. And then there's rams and eagles. You'll see plenty of these. Elks are everywhere. And then if you're lucky enough, you may see this rare creature, and that's Sasquatch. Yep, I didn't take that picture. I found that on the internet, but I have a picture for my trip. I'll have to show you sometime. Billy, I'll make sure you get a copy of it. When you travel with Rocky Mountaineer, I mentioned we travel April through October. The advantages of traveling in the spring, if you are looking for a time to go where you see more active wildlife, and also you want the least amount of people there when you travel, this is a great time to go. April and May is the low season for them, and you won't have near the crowds you would have, say, in the summertime, because the families are still in school. And then also you will see active wildlife coming out of hibernation. And the prices can be as much as 20% less. And if you want to see lots of snow, you'll see lots of snow. I had a foot of snow traveling on the train, going through the Canadian Rockies in April when I was there. And then summertime is also a spectacular time to go there. Many of you may be in the Southeast like me. I live in Florida. I am dying in the heat at this time of year. It's actually like 90 degrees out right now. You go there in the summer, it's 72 degrees average temperature, spectacular evenings, and beautiful place to go. And the sun doesn't set till like 11 o'clock at night. Autumn is also great. That'd be September through October, and you have the change of season. You also have the spanning of the salmon, and so you'll see a lot of active wildlife along the rivers. Grizzly bears do love salmon, so that's a good place to see them. And one of the things I wanted to reiterate is when you're doing a package with us and you're sitting down with your Mann travel advisor to plan out your trip, we have over 100 different excursions to choose from. So if you're super active and you want to do rafting trips or cycling trips or anything like that, we've got it all. If you're an adventurer and you want to do a helicopter sightseeing or do the Athabasca Glacier and all that stuff, we get those as well. Here's an example of some of the more active stuff in Vancouver, cycling across around the city or doing a high-speed boat ride. Also, you can explore Rocky Mountaineer, explore the Canadian Rockies at your own pace. We do offer self-drive programs where you do the train with Rocky Mountaineer, we book all your hotels, and we provide a rental car. I just want to show you a few bestsellers: Journey Through the Clouds, Discovery, Self-Drive. This is an example of a self-drive. It's 8 days, 7 nights, includes your Rocky Mountaineer rail, 4 days of full-size car rental with unlimited kilometers. We're a Canadian company. Luggage handling as well, transfers in Vancouver and Jasper, and 7 nights hotel accommodations for about $2,300, starting at that, $2,300 per person. Passage to the West at leisure. This is really a very inclusive trip. You see all the trip highlights. That's all sightseeing included. If you were on a cruise and you were adding all this up, it would be about $500 per person just for the activities. 8 days, 7 nights, starting around $3,000. And Rainforest Gold Rush, another example, using a different train route, but gives you 6 nights in the Canadian Rockies and 1 night in Calgary, but also the 3 days on the train. Wonderful trip. And you can go either direction. You can start in Calgary, into Vancouver, as I mentioned before. And then the Mac Daddy of all trips, the Grand Rail Circle, is a circle journey with actually 7 nights in the Canadian Rockies, 2 nights in Jasper, 2 nights at Lake Louise, and 3 nights in Banff. Just to quickly recap what's included in a Rocky Mountaineer: your silver leaf or gold leaf rail, all your meals on board the train, gourmet snacks, all your alcoholic drinks, hotel accommodations. Also, if you want to add meals in your hotels, we do have the option to add on a meal plan. We also include transfers to the hotels and rail stations and professional services, onboard hosts, guest services, sightseeing activities, as described, luggage handling, of course. And safety and priority. Safety is our priority, but basically with the coronavirus, we've changed a lot of procedures. We have enhanced screening. We have a whole list of things that we've done. A air filtration system that takes out 99.9% of the air particles. We disinfect each night and throughout the day. It's constantly being cleaned. It'll be impeccable when you travel with Rocky Mountaineer. We have a little flyer too that Mann Travel can advisor can share with you. And then if you're looking to travel in 2021, there's no better time to plan but now. Number one, we're offering a $25 Canadian deposit is all you need in order to guarantee your price and take advantage of the All Aboard 2021 promotion. So it's only $25 down as your initial deposit. And if you book the All Aboard 2021 promotion, you actually get 4 perks. The 4 perks are 2 complimentary hotel nights at the beginning or end of your trip, 1 airport transfer, and 1 dinner. And this is well over $800 value per couple to take advantage of this. Now, this promotion was extended so you can book by September 30th for travel in 2021. So make sure you book early. The one thing I will say is that space is getting booked up. Keep in mind that everybody that was traveling in 2020 has moved pretty much to 2021, most of them. And then not only that, a lot of hotels are limiting the number of people in their hotels because after a hotel room has been used today, they have to leave the room empty for 48 hours. So think about that. So there's going to be less availability out there. We have block space, but the thing I would want to is recommend is book early. And just a couple reasons why to book Rocky Mountaineer and the Canadian Rockies. Number one, it's a bucket list trip close to home. So if you're thinking about going to Europe or somewhere else, well, great, go. But if you want to stay closer to home, here's your bucket list trip close to home. 95% of our clients are highly satisfied. On average, a guest tells 15 friends, which is amazing, about Rocky Mountaineer. Western Canada is safe and convenient. You can fly there, probably have nonstop flights out of Charlotte, I think, to at least close to that area, or at least connecting flight, but you can get there and it's cheap. Breathtaking natural beauty, again, that's can't be understated. World-class resorts, favorable exchange rate. So the exchange rate is about 25% savings. So you go out to dinner and you get like a American discount right off your bill. That's what I like to say. Mm-hmm. We've won lots of awards over the years: best rail company, best rail journey, most scenic rail vacation, lots of good stuff. And then lastly, I want to thank you for your time, and thank you, Mann Travel, great partner that has always been there for us, supported us, and they know Rocky Mountaineer. We do a lot of good stuff together, and we hope you join us on a trip in 2021.
Absolutely, Paul. Thank you so much for your presentation today. And in addition to what Rocky Mountaineer is offering through September 30th, Mann Travels is actually offering a Visa gift card for any new booking. It's based on the value of your trip. So please be sure to reach out to your travel consultant today. Does anybody have any questions that I missed, or you can feel free to use the chat feature.
And I can add a few answers to questions that people sometimes forget to ask.
Sure.
How fast does the train go? Train goes on average 30 to 35 miles an hour. So again, the purpose is to see the scenery, enjoy the beautiful sights they're seeing. Second thing is, like, can we accommodate for mobility? We definitely can. We just need to know in advance, and we have a whole guideline on that. So trains can accommodate that, as well as food allergies. So if you have food allergies, just let us know what those are. We can make arrangements for that in advance.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. So again, please feel free to reach out to Mann Travels with any questions you may have about Rocky Mountaineer and Canada. I'd like to thank Paul again today for his wonderful presentation. I'd like to thank everybody who's joined us today. And plan now, travel later. That's what we need to go by. So I hope you all enjoy your day. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Billy. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.